Ahead of the 2023 presidential election, it is important that the APC win as many states as possible to their side in order to have easy access to vote and the support of the people. It will be of great disadvantage to the APC if they lose the Edo election to PDP. If Edo fully becomes a PDP state, it would affect the votes of APC in the 2023 polls. Therefore, the APC needs to do all that it takes to make sure that they win Edo back before it finally becomes a PDP state. Edo State seems to be the only South-South state that the APC wants have control over. If the APC loses Edo to PDP, it would mean that the APC doesn't have any South-South state under their control. Due to this, the APC must make sure they win Edo election and bring Edo under the influence and control of the APC in order to have an easy ride and get access to votes from Edo State. Tinubu, Buhari, and Oshiomole are the important men in the APC who would make sure the Edo election is a free and fair election. Security would be deployed to Edo in order to make sure that there is no foul play amongst the parties. APC controls a very large population in Edo, and this is a guarantee that APC has what it takes to come to power on September 19th. The government needs to provide security and services to the people to make sure that people vote fairly to their desired candidates, and there shouldn't be any form of rigging, electoral violence, or bailouts or ballot snatching. Okay, of course, in as much APC will be fighting, using all what they have or what it has to make sure they win that election in Edo State. Of course, you don't expect a PDP to fold its arms, or the people to fold their arms, those in PDP to do that. Of course, it's going to be survival of the fittest. Of course, before now, if we say that, according to this writer, because this is an opinion of somebody, and that opinion is always gearing towards the body language of most of these politicians and the so-called elders. Because if we want to say APC is grounded in Edo State before now, because before some months back it was an APC state, but as soon as the incumbent governor defected to PDP, it becomes a PDP state as we speak. So the irony of the whole thing there is that when it got to the presidential election that last year, how come the governor then was an APC man, the APC national chairman, from that state, everything you can think of, was to the favor of APC. But how come at presidential level, the presidential election, PDP won? If we were to look at that thoroughly, PDP won. And again, if we look at 2016 election in that state again, the margin was so close, really. If it is really a state that is dominated, it is APC dominated, well, why would that margin be so close? And people, it's even debatable. People are saying all manner of things that they knew the person or the party they voted for, but because of the federal might and all of that, and that is why they won. But aside that, in 2019, the general election, pre-presidential election, PDP cleared it. So what now happened? So in this game, nobody is going to say, "Oh, I have a total control," or I have an upper hand. No, it's not going to work. And judging from what is happening since the governor defected to PDP now, we'll be seeing massive defection to PDP. That means all those who are in APC now, they are defecting back. It is just maybe in isolation cases, or maybe one or two cases, that people are now defecting. But even the major people who are really supporting from the angle of the governor, those who are supporting Eze Yamu, they are just appointees. That's the way it is. But when you talk about major defection, people moving, chairman of a ward, chairman of a whatever local government, they are defecting in their numbers. So back to PDP. So what do you have to say to that? Or what do you want us to say to that? The whole thing is dicey. Of course, you expect that Oshiomole, Tinubu, and the APC people, all of them, they will want to get a door back, because as it is now, it is a PDP state. So if we can say it as we speak presently, South South is PDP. PDP is South South now as we speak, or maybe anything can happen less than 2 weeks. Anything can really happen until then before you can say one thing. But they are fighting everything, making sure that APC has the whatever. But it's not even a guarantee, because even if APC wins the election now, if they are looking towards 2023, it is not a yardstick. It's not a yardstick, or it's not a whatever. I don't even know how to put it. It's not is there an opportunity? It's not a guarantee. Yes, sorry. It is not a guarantee that APC will still win. Judging from the same Edo state we'll talk about during the presidential election. And again, Oyo State. Actually, those are the two states that I can really remember that as presidential whatever, they won. Even at the state level governorship election, PDP still won. And it used to be APC. It used to be APC. And even as at when the election was took place, APC was in power, and which they are still in power. So what now happened? So it now depends on the people. If they can give the people opportunity to vote fairly, there will be no intimidation of any kind. Of course, we'll be able to know who really who really is on ground, which party is really on ground in that state. Well, they are going to fight it to finish. We hope that it's not going to involve lives. That is just my own opinion. But God will disappoint Tinubu and Oshiomole. They are not God. God will prove himself. Yes, God will prove himself. The people also, you must do your part. In as much we always call God, you must do your part. Even as a people, you must do your part. You do your part, and again, doing your part is when people see that the atmosphere is conducive, the atmosphere is safe. But I believe and I hope so. The atmosphere will be safe, because now there is all eyes on Edo State now. Anybody that does anything, you'll be held responsible. So that is just the way it is. Okay, what will they do? Rig the election. APC are not existing, are non-existing in Edo State. Obaseki has already won Edo State. Well, till till then, we will not know who is who or who is not who. But if all of those who are supporting Obaseki now, it's not by saying it online. You have to go to the grassroots and go and ask the people, tell them to do the right thing. And unfortunately, most of the people who are always coming on internet or on social media, most of them don't even go out that day. They don't go out that day to vote. But we hope that this will see encourage them, because if you don't do the needful, nothing will happen. It's not all about calling God. It's not, God will not come down from heaven to come and vote. It is we the people that need to go out to vote our choice candidate. So guys, let's hear your opinion and let's know what you think.